Welcome to another Battle Games in Middle-earth painting tutorial. I know it's been some time, but I am slowly working my way through the Pelennor Fields box set, amongst other projects. So here is a Mordor Troll, but I've made it so that it can be armed with either a drum or a sword, just by magnetising its arms. Don't ask me how I did it. Honestly, I don't think I did a great job, but I'm sure there are people out there who can better explain how to do it than me. I also undercoated it with chaotic red spray paint from Army Painter, but any old brownish red will do. You could even base coat it in Mechrite red. Then straight on to painting. The armour first, I just give it a liberal dry brush of Boltgun Metal. I don't really take too much care on it. I'm not usually neat, but here I really slap it on. I also paint the drum and the other arms. That's the downside to magnetising your miniatures. It's far from armless. Yeah, the puns are back. More unbearable than Beorn and his beornlings. Back to the paint. I give the skin a thin layer of Tallarn Flesh. Straight onto those leather straps, I dip into my ever-dwindling pot of Scorched Brown. With Bestial Brown, I paint the base coat of the loincloth cum miniskirt, and also the sleeveys. Should I make my favourite Gondor joke again? No? You sure? Okay, well, it's related to where Gondor's armies are. With a big old brush, I give the metal and clothes a wash of Null Shade. Just emphasise the shade bit there. There's the gloss version as well, don't get them mixed up. As with all my videos, washes are my friend. And this is about the only time this troll will really get a decent wash, I'd have thought. Except another wash of Tallarn Flesh shade all over the troll's skin. I know some people do their trolls with slightly unusual skin tones, but I prefer the more movie-style dirty Caucasian tone. It's all about movie recreation for me when painting Lord of the Rings miniatures. Then, with Commando Khaki, I paint all the skins on the drums and on the beaters of the drumsticks too. The more modern GW paints would probably go on a lot easier than this, but it's probably worth still giving it a 2 or 3 even thin layers to make it nice and clean. Then, introducing a brand new feature! After a suggestion from you, this is me painting a wash of Null Oil gloss on the head and shoulders. It should show you some of my mad real time, or more accurately, show you how slowly I paint. But this wash is aimed at making him look a little bit sunburnt, if that's possible in the Land of Shadow, perhaps a bit lava burnt, or just a bit grimy and sooty. Still, I reckon it looks pretty cool. Then back to the skin for highlights. I use a similar technique to the one I used in my Ent tutorial. Rather than dry brushing or highlighting the conventional way, I use a striping method. Here it is in real time! Okay, I won't do that after this time. As you can see though, I'm really delicate and careful with this. You need your paint to be the right consistency too. A teeny weeny bit of water mix in there, but not too much. Back to the rags, I use Bestial Brown to build back to the base coat after its earlier wash. A lot of bees there. Again, in real time, the highlighting of the material there. Now I'm back onto the drum skin and the beaters. I use Griff and Sepia to add a bit of depth. I do love my washes. You can't beat them. Beat them? Get it? Then, onto the rags again. I highlight them with Vermin Brown. Finally, after painting them all that time ago, I return to the leather straps once more, and using Doombull Brown, I carefully edge highlight them. Another delicate process you can see here in a little more detail than usual in real time. Of course, again, don't forget those extra arms. There are straps all over the place here, and they're really key to break up the big swathes of skin and metal. It just adds a little splash of warmth to make it look a bit more realistic with this browny, warm leather colour. With an unintentionally watery Adeptus Battle Grey, I painted the troll's beard and hair. You can see why these trolls cause terror, can't you? With a man bun on top, I think anyone would run in the opposite direction. Now, back to the drum skin. Add a bit of Commando Khaki to the main skin again. Highlight the folds on the sides of the drums and drybrush the beater. And the same, back to that armour we painted so long ago. I just use a bit of Boltgun Metal to return the metal colour after the wash a lot earlier on. I also use it very carefully dot all the buckles and bolts on the straps here in real time. Then I drybrush the hair and the man bun in Codex Grey. Almost done now. After painting the sandy base with a black and PVA mix, which I left to dry overnight, you could probably do that right at the start of this process when you're spray painting it red, and it'll probably dry by the end. Then I paint the eyes white and black, which is so much easier on a troll with the big eyes. Then it's down to the base, which is Tallarn Brown drybrush with graveyard earth, and the bigger rocks and pebbles picked out in grey, and a few tufts of grass, and there we are, we're done. Here, pictured with the other weapons options as well. And there you have it, a Mordor Troll, drummer or trooper. I'm going to add some blood to the hole in which the drum sits for when he's just a troll, but other than that, he's pretty much done. I hope you enjoyed it. I have got other tutorials in the works, but as with everything, this is just a hobby for me, so life takes priority occasionally. But I will return in the new year, I'm sure. In the meantime, happy hobbying.